Well, Cuomo said the state assembly outlined an expensive and time-consuming impeachment process involving weeks of hearings and investigations and months of litigation, costing the state time and money it can't afford to spend. So, despite his first inclination to fight, he ultimately chose to resign and end the distraction.
The best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing. And therefore, that's what I'll do.
Embattled New York Governor Andrew Cuomo resigning, effective in 2 weeks. The announcement coming a week after a damning state attorney general investigative report accusing him of sexually harassing 11 women. Cuomo called the report unfair and untruthful.
This is about politics.
The governor stepping aside and offering apologies, though not admitting to the allegations. He explained that while trying to be friendly, he inadvertently acted in a way that was too familiar.
In my mind, I've never crossed the line with anyone. This is not to say that there are not 11 women who I truly offended. There are. And for that, I deeply, deeply apologize. There are generational and cultural shifts that I just didn't fully appreciate. And I should have. No excuses.
Cuomo made the public announcement moments after his attorney spoke out to poke holes in the AG's report.
The investigators acted as the prosecutors, the judge, and the jury of Governor Cuomo.
Reaction to Cuomo's announcement was swift, even coming from President Biden himself, who was among the chorus of leaders calling for the governor to resign.
I respect the governor's decision, and I respect the decision he made.
New York Attorney General Letitia James said, "Today closes a sad chapter for all of New York, but it's an important step towards justice." And one of the governor's first accusers, Lindsey Boylan, tweeted, "I am thankful for the Attorney General, the investigators, and all those who have pursued the truth despite intimidation and threats of retaliation. There is absolutely no joy in any of this. It is a tragedy, just a massive, heartbreaking tragedy for so many." Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul will become the first female governor in New York State history. She released a statement saying she agrees with Governor Cuomo's decision to step down, that it's the right thing to do and in the best interest of New Yorkers. Pat.
Well, let me ask you this. He really, it wasn't a question of how many nursing home people were put into COVID situations where they died, but he ruined the state. They've lost a member of Congress, and people are fleeing New York by the thousands. Can you have any information about the specifics about what's happening to New York?
Well, you know, that whole situation with the nursing homes and the perhaps misinformation that was given about deaths there was sort of the beginning of the end where Governor Cuomo is concerned. Of course, that is outside of what we're talking about today, where these allegations of sexual harassment against these 11 women are concerned. But when you look at his legacy as a whole, that certainly was a blemish on it. And it came after he was considered one of the leading governors in terms of fighting the war on COVID-19. So again, that was sort of the beginning of the end. Now you have this situation where he's been accused of sexually harassing these 11 women. In the face of a possible impeachment, he decides to step down. And the idea is that perhaps he was trying to control the narrative, because if in fact, Pat, he was impeached, he would have to go immediately. There would be no 14-day buffer. So in doing so, resigning, he's able to control the narrative, have 14 days to kind of leave office the way that he does, with his image and his the way that he wants to be remembered somewhat intact. But again, when you talk about things like that whole nursing home debacle, it's an uphill climb.
Eric, thank you very much.